Okay, guys, this is how mom lost 30 pounds in 3 months postpartum. That is crazy. You lost weight so fast. I actually know moms right now. I know a mom who has been struggling to lose weight for a very long time, so much so from postpartum that she is on Ozempic now. Like that's how desperate she became. She texted me, she tried every diet. She tried every program except for our program. Um, and I just thought it was interesting because she was doing all the right things, but her body was just like really slow. And you lost 30 pounds in 3 months and she can't even lose 10. So, what was it that you did that got you to get these amazing results? Because 30 pounds in 3 months is pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And I think you lose a lot of weight immediately after birth
Okay.
because of water weight, the placenta, the baby, of course, so you're automatically like 10 or more pounds down.
Yeah.
And then I think the biggest problem that moms face postpartum is time.
Yeah, I remember I was nannying, or taking great care of this family, and they had a newborn baby, and she had no time. She couldn't cook any meals anymore. They had like fully prepped meals in the fridge because she couldn't cook. She couldn't even make herself breakfast, so I would make them breakfast every day. And then what else? She just had no time. Like she couldn't even meditate or do that. I remember one time the baby fell asleep. I put the baby to sleep for the first time since she was pregnant. And she's like, she's never slept this long. I'm like, is she dead? Is she okay? And then she's like, I had time to meditate. I haven't had time to meditate in my like 8 months or whatever like that. So
When you were a little girl, you woke up to me meditating every day.
yeah.
It's true. Time is an issue, but that's why you have to be so cautious about your time and how you're using it.
I loved what you said yesterday in our call. You were talking to someone who had a toddler and you were like, you just have like a bunch of prep containers in the fridge. You got your dressing in one jar and your whatever. And you said something really impactful that I will remember when I have kids. You just find the 10 minutes in between, the
You have
five
to
minutes
find
in
the time
between.
in between. That's the point. So, for example, when I've got 10 minutes, I can prep some salad dressing. And then I've got my salad dressing for the whole week in the fridge. Or when you have, before you put her down or your baby down for a nap, you can always just throw in some sweet potatoes. They can roast, while you're just putting her down. So there's all kinds of ways you can, create strategies around making sure that you can buy the food or get the food delivered, and then also prep the food and prepare the food.
So what I was saying is that it's really important to have like your sweet treats that you love. If you can take time to prep it, like just putting raspberries in a jar in the fridge and you snack on that instead of Ben and Jerry's because I've seen like the postpartum
Hey,
mom.
that's not really a good like you have frozen bananas in the freezer,
I
and
know.
then you make, chunky monkey
I was just hearing
out of bananas.
I was just hearing people in the back like, I don't have time. So that's why
Time and money are always going to be in the way. And when you have a newborn, it's 100% the excuse, right? You have no time. You have so many demands for your time. You can't even go to the bathroom. So how am I supposed to be healthy? But it's almost like you can't not be healthy.
right.
So breastfeeding is so key. Like that mom you were talking about it who might be taking Ozempic. I mean, that's concerning. We have no studies that I know of about how babies are going to be receiving breast milk of somebody who's on
I know.
Ozempic.
And that's why I was so like, oh my gosh, I wish I could help her. Because I know I can.
I mean, it's really, really dangerous, I
So
think.
what did you do to lose the 30 pounds in 3 months?
Well, I really didn't like the way my clothes were fitting after I gave birth, and I was on a mission to lose the weight. And I walked a lot. I walked up mountains. I did Nordic walking, which is like with the poles, but in a
Mhm.
different way than, it's not for stability, it's for like actual athleticism, which also helps with the torso thinning. I did a lot of yoga. And I snacked on exercise. So I fit it in wherever I could, just like the food prep that we were just talking about. I was able to do it like if you and I were playing on the floor, if there was belly time, like I would do a plank or I would do some sit-ups with you on my belly, we'd play. So like, sometimes I would lift you and do curls and things like that. And or like over the head presses and things like that. So you just integrate your child into your daily routine. You're not going to have the 2 hours that you used to have to work out, or even a half an hour, or even a full hour, because when the baby sleeps, you need to rest as well. So it's really important to exercise when the baby's awake, because if you don't sleep enough, then your breast milk is going to dry up. And if you exercise too much, of course, your breast milk isn't going to taste good. So you're supposed to eat regularly, eat whole foods, eat healthy foods. I also eradicated flour and sugar. I even didn't eat grains or any fruit. I felt like I had an overgrowth of candida. There's some debate as to whether or not that's scientifically relevant or valid, but I was on like an anti-candida diet, and I think that played a big role because my blood sugar levels were definitely lower. And so I was losing an average of like 10 pounds a month, which is pretty good.
Interesting.
It's healthy, like 2 to 3 pounds a week. I mean, that's great.
Totally.
Yeah.
And would you say there's anything extra that you did on your journey, like postpartum? Like, is there anything you had to do normally that you wouldn't do in a normal weight loss journey with a baby? Like, drink more water or,
Definitely need to drink more water, and you need a lot of calories if you're breastfeeding. So,
but what kind of calories? Because that's really confusing because people will say, okay, well, I'll just eat like a handful of peanut butter. But you're like, why peanut butter? Like, what other
right,
foods could be
you
great for your
have to
baby?
learn about this. Not you, but you, everyone. We have to learn.
So where can we learn about it?
Well, here on this channel, you can ask questions, comment below. Essential fatty acids are really important. Eating good fats are essential. I mean, I'd already gotten my bachelor's and was on my way to getting my master's degree in nutrition when I had you. And then I had, over a decade of experience, even before I got my bachelor's and master's in nutrition, in studying food as medicine and healing diets for disease reversal.
So would you say your knowledge is what also helped you lose that weight?
I think that making good decisions is always based on what you know. And I know things today that are different than what I knew then. And I eat totally different today than I did then. But I have some recipes that I still stand by. Also, when you're breastfeeding, you want to be eating foods that help to produce breast milk, especially if you want to, be really, really full of milk. You want to eat fennel, and there's certain foods you can eat that are strategic that can really promote excellent quality breast milk. And the essential fatty acids, like you spoke about, really help your baby's brain to develop. And it also helps you to not be depressed. It helps your hormones to get regulated because there's a huge hormonal shift after you give birth. And then it also helps with reduce inflammation. So the baby will have less colic, and the baby will be smarter, and the baby will sleep better, and you will have less inflammation and be happier, and your hormones will be balanced. And so fat and sugar are really important things for everyone to be just hyper focused on.
And you didn't eat flour or sugar on your journey either, right?
No, flour and sugar were not a part, especially after I gave birth to you. I had to be I felt so overwhelmed because, we lived in a foreign country. I didn't have family around. We did have some help, but I felt really responsible. And it was taking more from me than I even knew I had. And I was a healthy young mom. But I was able to lose the weight and then some. I actually was thinner after I gave birth to you than I had ever been in my entire life.
It's incredible.
That was really interesting to me.
You looked amazing.
Oh, thanks,
Your
Penelope.
skin was glowing. Did I give you that glow? Am I responsible for her being so thin? Oh, I love that. So cool. The power of birth.
It is a very natural thing.
It's amazing to me.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
It blows my mind. Even today, it blows my mind.
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, Penelope.
I know. I think about when your foot was like the size of my palm.
I can't believe that.
That is so
Anyway, if you're a mom on a postpartum journey, we'd love for you to join our Women's Accountability Group. If you want support, if you're ready, if you're willing, if you're open, we only accept awesome, amazing, ready women. So we'd love to have you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you all the time.